Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Red Sky Alliance Weekly Threat Brief. My name is Ori Heckinson, and I am a SOC analyst with WAPAC Labs. Today's weekly threat brief contains information gathered from open source and WAPAC Labs collection over the last week. For the agenda today, we are going to briefly discuss recent reporting, open source and social media, 7 days of trending, and keylogger activity. But first up, we have a quick brief on a topic affecting the SOC. Recently, our SOC analysts have seen several alerts for Microsoft Internet Explorer MS-XML access attempts. We have seen 6 alerts over the last week affecting 3 different clients. These access attempts target a vulnerability found in Microsoft XML core services, which corresponds with CVE 2012-1889. This could result in remote code execution if a user views a specifically crafted web page using Internet Explorer. Microsoft XML core services 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, and 6.0 access uninitialized memory locations, which allows remote attackers to execute arbitrary code or cause a denial of service. Even though this is an old CVE, it targets versions of Microsoft software that are still commonly being used, including Windows 7 and 8, as well as Microsoft Office software and Microsoft Server software. The recommended action for this is to upgrade to the latest non-affected version of the software and apply the appropriate vendor-supplied patches. Topics in cyber news over the last 7 days include ransomware removal and protection, updates on a Dutch hacker who DDoSed the BBC and Yahoo, as well as DLL hijacking attacks. The top threat actors for the past 7 days include Cult of the Dead Cow, which is a computer hacker and DIY media organization founded in Texas, Hezbollah, which is a Shia Islamist political party and militant group based in Lebanon, the United Cyber Caliphate, which is also known as the Islamic State Hacking Division, which refers to any number of groups self-identifying as the digital army for the Islamic State, Australian Signals Directorate, which is an Australian government agency responsible for foreign signals intelligence, and support to military operations, cyber warfare, and information security. And lastly, Binary Sec, which is a hacker collective or hacktivist group focused on targeting ISIS propaganda. The targeted industries for this week are IT, software, media and entertainment, and social networks. For this week's malware, we have Media Downloader, which targets macOS operating systems, web shells, which are scripts that can be uploaded to a web server in order to enable remote administration of the machine, Stuxnet, which is a worm known for targeting industrial control systems, Simbad, which is Android malware that targets Google Play Store users, and lastly, NL Brute, which is a tool that is used to brute force RDP passwords in order to gain remote access and spread ransomware. The top cyber stories in social media this week include a hacker known as Gnostic Players, who is selling 26 million stolen online accounts from 32 different websites in the dark web. And this is the 4th round of accounts from a total of 890 million stolen accounts. We also saw a mal-spam campaign using Boeing 737 MAX 8 crashes as the topic for social engineering to deliver malware, and also a patched WinRAR bug that is still actively being exploited in the wild due to a lack of auto updates. Last week, we recorded over 2 million new indicators in our WAPAC Labs collections. These collections included our threat recon, keylogger, malicious emails, and our sinkhole traffic. The numbers on the slide indicate the new indicators in their respective collections. These indicators are available to paid Red Sky Alliance members weekly, as well as our blacklists, which come in CSV, FortiSIM, and Proofpoint formats. These are the APT indicators and botnet indicators that we have collected over the last week. We had 450 new APT indicators in the last 7 days. This amount is up 192 indicators from last Monday. You can use your two-factor authentication to log into CTAC and download the APT indicators we discussed today. Please contact us on Slack or via email if you need any assistance with this. For our APT indicators over the last 7 days, we have Sikkipot and Maudi APT topping the list again this week. New this week, we have Mirage. For our botnet activity over the last 7 days, it has remained pretty consistent with prior trending. Topping the list, we have 31 Jinron Street, which is still the leader, followed closely by the National Internet Backbone for India. The open source data closely corresponds with the data observed in our collections, which you can see in the graphic on the right. On the cloud security front, we still see the same culprits as last week, with Amazon and Peak 10 topping the list for high-risk cloud environments. In the caution risk category, we have TierPoint, and in the lower risk hosting environments, we have ONR. Our blacklists are published weekly, and on the right-hand side, you can see some of our keylogger stats. We observed 46,515 connections from new unique IP addresses to WAPAC Labs sinkhole domains. Our free Red Sky Alliance members receive Teraline products, and our paid Red Sky Alliance members receive complete blacklists and API access. For members that are not set up to ingest intelligence, Trusted Internet is the managed security service provider, and we use Fortinet and Proofpoint products and push intel into those systems for you as we manage your systems. Please let me know if you have any questions. That's it for this week's threat brief. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for coming, and we will see you next week.